times.
Hey guys.
I like what you're doing. You think about the way I did before. 12 is 2 times 6, right? So you have 2 up there already. Because then you can take your product of 2 and multiply it by 6, and you'll get the answer. See what I'm thinking? Because if I break up the 12 into 2 times 6, that gives me 12.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, right? One. So here's the 6, right? So now you take 6 times. And we know 6 times 3 is what?
6 times 3 is 18.
And then we have the 2 zeros.
You know why I did it that way is because I had the 2 up there already, and I know that, so that helps me then move to the next step.
Or Amy, like continuing what you were saying, you could have done 4 because you could do 15 times 4 in your head. What's 15 times 4?
15 times 4?
Because you know 15 plus 15 is 30.
Oh, 60?
Mm-hmm. So this would be 600. And now because 4 times what is 12?
3?
4 times
Yeah, so then you do 600 times 3.
which is 6 times 3 is
1,800.
Yeah. So you can think about different ways of breaking up the 12 that make it easier, because if you don't know 6 times 150, but you can get there by using 2 facts. Friendlier numbers. Yeah, use smaller ones.
all right. Let's try the last one.
Yeah. No, I'm going there. Let's go.
You want to watch Peppa? No, let's watch Emma.
Mira, I saw the light bulb go off in your head. You're like, I like watching when people get things.
I'm gonna go here.
All right. Does someone want to try? Jacob G, you want to try? I want a boy.
Sure.
Oh, love it, Jacob. Thank you. Sure, why not, right? What's the worst that can happen? Right. How can we multiply 12 times 149?
I know how I solved it is different.
Good, go ahead. What did you do?
So I did 1,800 minus 12 because I saw that one of them was 194. I realized I just had to minus it once.
That's beautiful, Jacob. Such smart thinking. Yeah, you only were taking away one group of 12, right? Perfect. And what'd you get?
1,788.
Perfect.
Nice job.
And see, Jacob, you weren't even going to raise your hand.
See, so many smart people don't want to share. You got to share. That helps us.
Yeah, so he said one group, right, was 150. He knew that this was one group less. So he's going to take away one group of 12. So 1,800 minus one group of 12 is 1,788.
Did anybody do it differently?
Kendry, go ahead, Kendry.
So I did it via the multiplication way. So this one I know. So if I times 2 by 9, I get 18. Then I put the 1 on the 4. And after that I get 8. Then 8 plus 1 is 9.
So you did, Kendry, you did like standard algorithm like that?
Then I did 2 times 1. Then I got 298. Then if I did the other one, I get 149. 298 plus 149. I got 1,788.
Yeah, that's going to work, Kendry, and that's awesome because you did a nice job. But for our number talks, we want you to try to figure out a strategy you could use in your head next time, okay?
Okay.
Try to use a strategy in your head, all right? All right, boys and girls, we're going to move on. Great work this morning.
Yay!
Now I'm gonna erase
All right, so today what we're going to be able to do is I can divide a decimal by a decimal and determine where to place the decimal point. Lots of decimals, all right? We've taught you how to divide a decimal by a whole number, but now what happens when your dividend and your divisor has a decimal? What do we have to do? All right?
This is a life of a fifth grader.
We'll do those next time.
Up here, yeah.
All right, so we have learned how to divide decimals by whole numbers, but what if we want to divide a decimal by a decimal? What does that mean? What does it look like? How can we represent a decimal by a decimal division? So first, let's explore how we can use a model to better understand what is happening when we divide by a decimal. All right, I'm just going to show you like one model quickly. So if you have one whole or 1/10, and I want to break them into groups with 5/10 in each group, how many groups can I make? So remember in the very beginning, we said that these longs here represented 1/10, right? 1/10. This whole square is one whole, 1. Now we want 10/10, yeah, 10/10. So we want to break them into groups with 5/10 in each group. All right. So what if we divide 1 divided by 5/10, how many groups will we have? Well, here we have 5/10 in this group and 5/10 in this group. Therefore, we have how many groups? Dos, 2. So our answer is 2. 1 divided by a half, or 0.5, is 2.
Right. Now, don't get tripped up by the fact that your quotient is bigger than both your divisor and your dividend, because you're breaking it up into smaller groups.
Yeah, isn't that kind of funny looking? Like I have 1, I'm dividing it in half, and now I have 2. But think of a piece of paper, or think of a pencil, or think of a candy bar. I have 1 whole, but if I break it, now how many do I have?
I have 2 pieces.
2 pieces. I have 2 holes now. They're smaller than the original hole, but I still have 2.
Yeah, you guys know that. That's like when you're sharing something. You cut it in half.
Mm-hmm. All right. So what would a model look like?
What is this model representing?
So how many do we have? What are holding?
Yeah, what based on what you're seeing there in the first part, how much is there? Oh, nice job. Somebody wrote it. 1 2/10, they said.
Good. So we
We
have
have 1 whole and 2/10. Good. And what size groups are we trying to make based on that image, that picture?
How many are in each group?
Not 4, Amira. Look closer.
3. 3/10. Good enough. Why didn't you say 3? 3/10. Good. So if we have 1 and 2/10 and we divide them into groups with 3/10 in each group, how many groups do we have? 4 groups. Beautiful.
So that's how you look at that kind of a model and have to interpret what you're seeing. So that Miss Berner just wrote a number sentence, which we asked you guys to do on the last test and nobody ever did it.
Okay.
Think about that. That's
So
a number sentence.
Yeah, if we think about it, where do we know where to place this decimal point? How do we know it's 4 wholes and not 4/10 or 4/100? All right, I have one for you guys to do. I don't really want to rush through this lesson. We'll see how far we get. We might have to continue it tomorrow. All right, so now you guys are going to try. You have blank, and you want to make groups with how many in each group. Guys, count those dots because it's not a solid line, so count how many little dots you have there, little tenth blocks, okay? So then what would your number sentence be?
I haven't finished counting the.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it shows you the picture. Okay, look at the picture. Count it. I'm sorry. I can't really zoom in for you guys.
Is that place where it says click on the image or no?
I guess so. I think I forgot to put it down. I said to myself I want to go back and put it in. I don't.
Or maybe it's on a draw.
No, I didn't. I just want to fill in the blank.
Gotcha.
Tell me when you're ready for me to go. All right. mean no one has answers?
Yeah, that means no one's put an answer in yet.
Thank you, Kalanji, for submitting.
Leanna, do you need help with that?
No. Maybe yes.
10 seconds.
I'm just gonna put random 9.
Amir did well.
Yes, I got 5 out of 5.
Yeah, I saw your reaction.
I got scared. I almost switched the right answer for the wrong one.
Good job, Josiah, for trying. I like your participation, Josiah.
Yeah, Josiah, it's like a whole new Josiah today. I love it. All right, so let's look at it. I have 45 hundredths, and I want to make groups with 9 tenths in each group. How many groups can I make? So it's 45 hundredths divided by 9 tenths equals 5. What do you notice about those numbers and thinking about your facts, your basic facts? What do you notice? Amira?
I'm not sure what those figures mean, Natasha.
I noticed that since you're dividing by decimals and your answer is a whole, that wouldn't make sense because when you're dividing, you're making something smaller, not bigger.
That's true.
Interesting.
It's usually we think when we divide, we're making things smaller, right?
But in this case, when you think about what you're doing, it's asking you to divide a decimal by a decimal. It's asking you how many groups you have of that decimal. So you can't have a decimal of a group. They're asking you how many groups you'll have of 9 tenths. So you'll have a whole number for that answer, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I have to have a group.
Yeah, like think of a pizza, right? You have one whole pizza, but if I cut that pizza into eighths, how many pieces of pizza do I have?
If I ask you how many pieces I have, you're not going to say 8 tenths or 1/8. You're going to say you have 8 pieces.
Right? Yeah, and don't we also know that 45 divided by 9 is 5? So 45 hundredths divided by 9 tenths is going to be 5 wholes. All right, we have to think about our basic facts as well.
Yeah, our basic facts help us when we're working with fractions.
I forgot to put numbers on the top where it says I have.
That's okay. That's why you didn't get the point. That's okay. All right, let's try one. We're going to use the standard algorithm this time, okay, guys? So please pay very close attention.
I don't care what
Lisa's making reusable shopping bags. She has 3 6/10 yards of fabric. She needs 3/10 yards of fabric for each bag. How many shopping bags can she make from 3/6 yards of fabric? So the question is asking us how many bags can she make? So right away, I know I need a number of bags, so that's going to be a whole number, right? Whatever my answer is